Good morning and welcome to Morning Movie News, where yesterday Avengers 4 began production before there's even a trailer for Avengers 3, at least an official trailer, right? They've shown footage 2 times now, first at D23 and then again at Comic-Con. But the Russo Brothers, to celebrate such an occasion, teased on social media a picture of a purple glove with 4 fingers, because for Avengers 4, and the quote, beginning the end. So I'll play, what are they talking about? I'd like to say on a side note though, before we dig in, that I think the Russo brothers, they've done this before. I think they're a little too cryptic in their teases, and that's why they don't get quite the same traction as, David Ayer. For all the places that he did fail with Suicide Squad, he was pretty darn good with teases and, social media interactions before the movie came out, right? It's a skill. It's a skill that you have to learn. Ron Howard's horrible at it with the upcoming Han Solo movie. And I think the Russo brothers, they more than make up for their lack of social media savvy with the movies that they make for Marvel, which are amazing. But this, of course, is the end for the Russo brothers, and perhaps that's all that they were referencing, because they're headed to Fox after they finish this movie. They just, as we discussed recently, signed a major production deal with Fox. They're going to make and produce films over there at the studio, and it's all good with Disney. Disney just doesn't have the bandwidth for the Russo brothers, not only how prolific they want to be, but the types of movies they want to make, from R-rated fare to prestige pictures, and Disney doesn't do either of those. And by prestige pictures, I mean awards-friendly content. But anyway, does it also mean the end for the Avengers, right? Or at least the first team? Like Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. have made comments over the past year or so saying, maybe my time as this character is coming to an end. But I have to say, I don't think that a new team is ready to step up and take their place, story-wise or box office-wise. So I wouldn't, if I were Kevin Feige, I wouldn't want to get rid of them just yet. So then you have to ask yourself, why shoot back-to-back Avengers 3 and 4? Now, from a business perspective, you want to use the Russo brothers while you can, right? They've been incredibly effective for Marvel, and they're leaving. So let's get these 2 pictures in there before they go. And considering they're coming out a year apart, even though the Russo brothers will be gone, it'll give the MCU a cushion to find some new filmmakers. They'll have these Russo movies in the bag, and the Russo Marvel movies have proven to be, very welcomed by audiences, right? So that's one reason. Also, talent availability. I mean, no one from the MCU really succeeds elsewhere, interestingly enough. When you start, as they expand, Josh Brolin, they're villains actually, Josh Brolin, Cate Blanchett, they're doing very well with other projects. I think even Michael Keaton has some interesting things he signed on for. But anyway, you want to, with the leads, they still like to go and make those little pictures that make them feel nice about themselves, right? So you want to shoot back to back so you don't take up too much of their time. Also, faster to market. You had Age of Ultron come out years ago before you're getting another Avengers movie, although Civil War was a cheat. That was basically an Avengers movie. But still, this allows Marvel to release 2 Avengers movies right in a row, to kick off 2 summers in a row. Now, from a creative perspective, you would potentially shoot back-to-back because this is the second part of the Infinity War story, which is what everyone initially assumed because, of course, it was Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2. But they removed the title from the second film, so I don't know if it still is. I really feel they're going to do Secret Invasion. I feel very strongly about that. And that purple glove could be a Skrull's glove, right? I don't know why it's wearing a human glove, but, they're humanoid. They've been on Earth for a long time. Maybe they have developed a love of isotoner. I don't know. But anyway, Captain Marvel comes out right before Avengers 4. And I'm 99% sure that the evidence, Skrulls, set in the 90s, why go back in time? To set up Secret Invasion. So I really am not sure that that's what they're doing, Secret Invasion. And it's a great idea. Because I think that as soon as that's revealed, everyone's going to, get very excited about it. And they're going to capitalize on that right away. You can't say, some of the Avengers are Skrulls, find out who in 2 years, right? You want to be like, that movie comes out in March, you want to be like, in May, you will know. And I think you'll probably know one of the Skrulls at the end of Captain Marvel. I think they'll certainly reveal that. And that's going to be a really effective ad campaign. I think the audiences will really enjoy playing Who is a Skrull. We're already starting to play that. I'm not sure. It's really interesting. Captain America, for a minute I was like, is it Captain America and Bucky maybe? But I don't think so. I think Captain America is so beloved they would never do that. But, who knows? It's very, very interesting. Maybe it'll be Hawkeye and his family. That would be great. But, it's a really interesting game to play. And I think you're going to want to play it right away. So Thanos could use the Infinity Gauntlet to rewrite reality, and that could be the beginning of the end. I think maybe at least one Avenger will die, right? Maybe Vision, my money's on him, at least for a little while. But I really, really think Secret Invasion is set. So I feel that that's what 4 is. I'm not sure how it disqualifies as beginning the end. Maybe, again, it's just for the Russo brothers. But it'll be interesting to see. And maybe that's one of the reasons that Kevin Feige can't talk about Phase 4, because you don't know who a Skrull is yet, and obviously you're not going to give a Skrull their own movie, right? So much fun. All right, I really am excited. I would be really shocked if it wasn't Secret Invasion Avengers 4. And it's going to be amazing. All right, so anyway, speaking of superhero movies, when Hollywood closes a door, they open a window. Maybe. And I'm talking about Riz Ahmed, who did not get Aladdin. I said he'd be a great Aladdin. A lot of you said he'd be a great Aladdin. Disney felt he might be a great Aladdin. But ultimately, as you know, went with an unknown, Mina Masood, who we'll see. We'll see. The Aladdin movie, I think that it looks very questionable, but it's such a great idea. And I think that it's going to get a lot of attention. So anyway, he didn't get that, but now apparently he's in talks for an undisclosed role in Venom with Tom Hardy. What a team! That would be amazing. But Variety has reported that there are some other actors vying for the same role. It's not Riz Ahmed's just yet. And the other actors are Matt Smith, who I thought did a lot of you know him as Doctor Who. I don't watch that show, but I thought he was really good as Skynet, surprisingly good as Skynet in the last Terminator movie, which was overall so bad. Pedro Pascal from Game of Thrones, Narcos, and the upcoming Kingsman movie. Fabulous actor as well. And Matthias Schoenaerts also is vying for the role. He was in The Danish Girl. He was the doctor, the old friend of Eddie Redmayne's. He was also in, I forget the name of the movie. It was like some adaptation of a book, and I forget the name of the actress who was in it because she doesn't work anymore really, but it was really good actually. It made me a Matthias Schoenaerts fan, so I feel bad that I don't remember what the name of the movie was off the top of my head, but he's a good actor. I mean, it must be a good role. Those are 4 excellent contenders. Ruben Fleischer is directing from Zombieland, and as I said when this news first broke, with him and Tom Hardy being signed to this Venom movie, that I feel pretty strongly it's going to try and be Sony's Deadpool. With amazing acting, apparently, because these are all really strong quality actors. I don't think you could go wrong with any of them, but I do hope Riz Ahmed gets this or something. I was so excited for him to be in Rogue One, and because I really have been a fan of his since seeing him in Nightcrawler, the Jake Gyllenhaal movie. Everyone was like, Nightcrawler got a movie from X-Men? No, sorry. But anyway, I thought he was wasted in Rogue One. I thought he was very good in Rogue One, but I was like, oh, Riz Ahmed's going to reach a bigger audience. And then I was watching the movie, and I was like, maybe not, because this is a really small role. And for a lot of it, he was not in his right mind. But anyway, I was like, oh, why do you got to play Riz like that, man? I'm sure when he saw the script, he was like, aw. All right, so anyway, luckily he had the night of to showcase him on HBO. Fabulous show, but that's only going to last so long until people are like, that's old news, Riz, what have you done since? And he's like, I had a not so rewarding role in Rogue One, and I maybe got into Venom. He's got to do more. He also had a small role in the Bourne, the latest Jason Bourne movie, but that again was very small. He needs more work. Also, I have to say, the box office for Spider-Man Homecoming, it hasn't hit China yet, but it's not great. It's not bad, but it's not like woohoo. So, I'd be interested to see if the Spideyverse really is viable. All right, so that's the second story of the day. Now, the third story of the day was a last-minute addition, thanks to BTT viewer Time for Some Dutch, who tweeted me a story from the Wall Street Journal talking about the problems that the movie theaters are having. Their stock is going down, all of them, AMC, Cinemark, and Regal, because their revenue is going down. They had a very bad summer. Everybody had a bad summer. Hollywood's like, yeah, there was no picnic over here either. It's bad for everybody. Because a lot of movies didn't materialize. And I thought it was interesting in the article, they talked about the fact that, if Beauty and the Beast had been released a month later, and especially in summer, that would have really helped this quarter. And it's like, I don't know if Beauty and the Beast would still have done as well. It was positioned really well. There was some complaining about how not all big movies are in the summer anymore. But it's like, when the money comes in, it comes in. It would be nice maybe, I guess, if it came in the quarter you expected it. But Hollywood is look, Hollywood has to look out for its movies, and they're going to release them when it's best for the movie. And that really leads to a bigger discussion of this, when they should release it digitally. That's coming. That's coming down the pipeline, and that's one of the reasons that the theaters are really scared, and another reason their stock is dropping, because this window is going to get shortened. It's going to go from months to weeks. I think it'll eventually go to no wait whatsoever. I think they'll debut day and date, because, again, the studios really just want you to watch their movies. And as I've said before, I feel very little sympathy for the movie theaters, because I don't think they work hard enough to make a nice movie-going experience. And I think what's going to happen is movie theaters won't go away. People will still want to go, but they're going to have to work really hard to make it a different experience than watching it at your home. They're going to have to make sure nobody's on their phone and nobody talks, really comfortable seats, high-end food. Just, it's going to go upmarket, right? Because why else would you pay to go to the theater when you can watch it at home? But what's really interesting to me, and I think is the most fascinating, is because when you think about it, when you think of the shrinking window that's coming down the pipeline between a theatrical and digital release, that's why Disney wants their own streaming service. Disney is positioning themselves for that change in the marketplace, so that when they start to be like, hey, do you want to watch Avengers 4 in the theater or in your house, you don't have to go to Apple TV, or that's what I think would, or some other service to get it. The Screening Room was the name of the service they were they were thinking of starting. I think Sean Parker from Facebook was pitching this. But Disney will be like, heck, we're such a big company, we'll just go directly to the market ourselves. Why pay a middleman to deliver our product digitally, right? We'll just push send for you to have it, or make it live. And they'll do that through their service. So that's another reason I think you're going to see all the studios getting into the digital marketplace. It still begs the question, how many services are you going to pay for? There's going to have to eventually be like a bundle. But then also maybe you don't pay for the service. Maybe you can do an a la carte situation like Apple. Apple's, you don't have to subscribe to go onto your iTunes account, right? So it'll be the same thing for Disney. It'll be, a marketplace. You just go in there and you can purchase the new movie, and they don't have to pay Apple a fee to distribute it. So that's what I think is really driving the Disney streaming service, and probably the ones you'll see coming soon from the other studios. It's fascinating. I mean, as soon as the AT&T Warner Brothers merger is approved, which is supposed to be pretty soon, you'll probably see a Warner Brothers service as well. And they've already announced a DC one, as we've discussed. So pretty interesting stuff. All right, so finally, today, instead of the viewer question, I just wanted to let you know that a last-minute family trip has come up, and I will be traveling through Wednesday of next week. I'll tell you where I am when I get there, but I have content prepared to go up on the main Beyond the Trailer channel. In fact, some videos that you have been asking for, so I'm glad to be able to deliver them. And also some other interesting content as well. And the Beyond the Trailer Movie a Day giveaway will be continuing those 3 days as well. So just wanted to let you know, and Morning Movie News will continue, come back on the 17th. I know I said no more breaks, but again, this just came up at the last minute, and it's just a 3-day trip. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. Write down your thoughts about today's top 3 stories down below, and you can check out some more videos right now.